And this is Duncan live at the Taste of Tops here in lovely Tempe with George Lindblom. How you doing, George?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing tonight, Duncan?
I'm great. And, of course, we got the wonderful Adam back there.
Been about a week since we talked. What have you been up to?
Oh, man, just honeydews. We had the margarita.
Yeah?
Yes, pool party / buy as much plastic Tupperware.
White trash extravaganza?
Yes, the margarita white trash extravaganza. So, no, it was fun, though. And,
awesome.
Yeah. But we noticed here tonight that we had some really special gentlemen from Uncle Bear's Brewery.
Right?
And I'm like...
And I'm really aware of Uncle Bear's as a restaurant place that I've been taking my family for years prior to being a brewery.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a great place.
Yes, and now these great beers, so this is a perfect time to showcase what they got going on, and let's kind of go from there. So we have as our guest today, we have Jason Derby in the middle. We have Todd, the owner / singer. So, and of course, the lead singer of Uncle Bear's. And we got Joe, the head brewer. So that's what Joe goes by. Anywhere he goes, he just says, "Hey, my name's Joe. I'm the head brewer."
The head brewer, yes.
I brew beer. Yeah, that's all you need to know. So, all right. So first of all, I really kind of want to, talk to Jason. What's the so tell us the story a little bit behind Uncle Bear's and everything.
Well, the story goes with Uncle Bear's, our owner, Todd Carey, went to Texas Tech University. When he was going to Texas Tech University to get his restaurant business management degree, his nieces and nephews would come visit him, and he was always Uncle Todd. And then Todd had a black lab named Bear. So Bear was Uncle Bear.
Uncle Bear, okay.
So it makes sense there. And Todd was, when I opened my restaurants or my own bars, I was going to be a dog-themed restaurant and bar called Uncle Bear's, dog-friendly restaurant. Dogs are always welcome on our patios. Every Saturday, dogs eat free at our restaurant. We've teamed up with...
What do they get to eat?
We have an organic pet food company out of San Diego called My Perfect Pet.
Okay.
They provide us some organic dog food for the dogs. So when someone orders an adult entree, we bring out an organic... dog food for their dog as well.
Okay.
And then if you bring in an 8x10 picture of your dog in a black frame, we put them on the wall for you as well. So our decor is all about dogs. We've got bone-shaped tables, bone-shaped fireplaces. We kind of went from the grill and bar to the grill and tap scene. And then now that we opened our own brewery last September, so we're coming up on a year.
So how many locations do you guys have?
Currently we have 4 locations. We have Chandler, Mesa, Queen Creek, and then our brewery location in Ahwatukee.
Okay. And you're brewing at Ahwatukee and you're distributing to the other locations?
Correct. We started brewing last September when the brewery opened up. We started to distribute to our other 3 locations. And then when the market called for it, we started distributing out to other restaurants and bars this past April. We're currently in about 65 to 70 accounts. Look for our red fire hydrant handles out there like you see tonight. All over at Taste of the Tops here. We've got 6 on tap tonight. We've got 7 different styles currently. We'll have our Barktoberfest coming out here the last week of September.
Great. So...
Well, that's a big jump. I mean, how do you go from being a restaurant? So you started the first restaurant in what year?
That was year 2000.
Okay.
14 years ago.
So then what's the succession? Was it like every 2 years you're opening up a new restaurant? Or, I mean, because restaurants come and go. They can fail miserably. They can do, huge. So what's the...
I think with the niche of Uncle Bear's being all about dogs, as you know, being dog lovers yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a cat guy.
No, I got dogs. I got 100 pictures of my dogs.
But I love dogs too.
Well, whatever
Okay.
animal your choice, dogs, cats, people treat those
Gotta be
animals.
that
People treat those animals like their own kids.
guy. Right.
And Uncle Bear's has created a place for those dog lovers to come dine with your dog, hang out with your dog on the bar or the patio, have dinner with your dog or a lunch. Saturdays when you come to the restaurant or the brewery, packed with dogs on the patio. So the progression started back in year 2000 on Cooper and Warner, which is now currently House of Brews. They expanded there to the Quinn Creek location, the Mesa location, Chandler. We had a location in Surprise, and then now we have the brewery in Ahwatukee. Todd saw the vision when he was living back and forth between San Diego and Phoenix. Got really involved in the West Coast beer scene out there, and just thought Phoenix could use some more, little more craft beer scene. And he's like, why don't we bring in brewers with a lot of experience, open up our own brewery, self-distribute to our own locations, and like I said earlier, when the market calls for it, start hitting the market with it. And the market started calling for our beer pretty right out of the gate. So like I said, about April, we started distributing 65, 70 accounts. So it's been a great success for us.
Huh. And then if you could hand the microphone over to Todd, I want to ask him a little bit about the whole San Diego thing. So I lived in Oceanside.
Okay,
So
I know it.
For 17 years.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, out of the Marine Corps.
Okay.
So I got there in 89. And 89 to 93 I was in the Corps, but I stayed in Oceanside. And so were you living in San Diego or were you?
Carlsbad.
You were in Carlsbad.
I was in Carlsbad. Actually, I used to meet up with a buddy down in Carlsbad. I was just south of Carlsbad Village, about 4.5 miles.
Okay.
I'd ride up to Pizza Port, have a couple of nice IPAs or double IPAs, meet my buddy from O-Side. He'd ride down. Then we'd ride back up to Oceanside, go to Breakwater Brewery, have some of their fine crafted beers, hang out on the beach, kick the soccer ball, shoot some hoop, and then ride back down. And then if we couldn't ride back down, well, there's a coaster there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
And we had to do that quite often, ride the coaster.
Yeah, actually, the in-laws, they live like right on Oceanside Boulevard and El Camino Real. So the coaster goes all the way down to the Sprinter.
It does.
And then so that goes right downtown. And then you just hop off. And
Right.
I was just there recently, and there's just tons of different craft beer
Well,
places.
they've got
and-
craft beer wars gone wild there.
yeah.
Just from the time I moved in, I moved back here a year ago, July, and I was there for about 2.5 years. And during that time, the amount of growth that I saw within the craft beer scene was incredible.
Now, do you think the craft beer is going to even invade, like, you know how there's the Marriott and all those places are really just expanding, all the big hotels down there? Do you think the craft beer is really going to kind of take off with that, too?
The craft beers are going off there. Pizza Port Bagby broke away from Pizza Port, and he is now doing Bagby's in Oceanside. And Oceanside, as you probably know, was kind of starving for business. They were actually had some business developers working with the city to try to attract other people within the marketplace, given smoking rental rates. And Bagby saw that opportunity. As a matter of fact, I believe he opened last week. I was there last week. He was not open on Labor Day.
Yeah, it's on the right-hand side, right? It's kind of going
it's on the
towards
west
Carlsbad.
side of, the PCH. Yeah, the west side.
All right, well, we need to take a break, and then we're going to get back into this a little bit. So kind of really want to talk about coming up your just, what kind of system you're running, what's your kind of present situation, what's your overall community presence. So it's going to take a break now, and we'll be back. This is Duncan with DrinkinAZ.
Phoenix Brewing Supply is an online retailer based in the Phoenix metro area. This online shop is geared up to give the home brewer competitive prices on a wide selection of all of your home brewing needs. Phoenix Brewing Supply provides quick access to a variety of hops, yeast, additives, and adjuncts, spiral fermenters, 5-star chemicals, chillers, draft equipment, plumbing, and hardware are all products you can find at the click of a button. When you can get most orders shipped within one business day, why go anywhere else? Log on to phoenixbrewingsupply.com today and receive 10% off of your first order when you register online. Phoenix Brewing Supply. What are you brewing today?
And we're back. So, this is Duncan, DrinkinAZ with George and the gang. So, you got the system. So, tell me about your system. What's kind of size system you got? You know, how's the setup on that?
So, right now we're rocking a 15-barrel brew house. And say we're able to do two 15-barrel tanks and two 15-barrel batches and put them into the fermenter. So every time we brew, we're brewing 2 batches, getting that beer, getting ready for everybody.
That's a lot of time, though. I mean, you know, as far as the cleaning, cleaning is 99%, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Cleaning is the majority of the work that we do in the brewery. And so we take the time, we clean the brew house every time we brew before, we clean it afterwards.
And what does that entail? I mean, it's one thing to, you know, somebody's going to clean their house. They dust a little bit, they vacuum, they take some trash out, they call it a day. But when you clean in between, what does that consist of for those who don't know?
Well, for those who aren't aware of what actually goes on in the brewing process, cleanliness is paramount. We take every precaution. We don't want any sort of off-flavor bacteria or anything that you could think of that could corrupt the beer. So we use caustic. We use this a peroxyacetic acid. We take all precautions. We're using the most safety measures, gloves, glasses, boots, jeans, making sure that we can't be harmed, but at the same time that the chemical is doing its job, cleaning the tank, sanitizing the tank, and creating the best quality product that we can.
And then so you're cleaning the tank, you're using this caustic, it's looking good, it's bright and shiny. You're happy, maybe do a swab or something like that?
Of course, yeah. We do a visual inspection, then of course we do a surface inspection as well. Make sure there's no sediment, there's no particulate that could have corrupted or caked onto the stainless steel itself. But once we ensure that it's 100% clean, we then give it a thorough rinsing and move on to the sanitization process, where we're going to use an acid as a final rinse, make sure everything in that tank is 100% ready for wort and beer in the fermentation process.
Wow. And you seem to know a lot about this, so when did you get in the whole beer scene?
As far as the craft beer scene, I've been a fan of craft beer since I turned 21. Four Peaks and Santan have been instrumental in my growth as a craft beer lover. But I started brewing when I was 21 in the home brew market.
Are you an Arizona guy?
I am an Arizona guy. I've been around in Arizona for at least 20 years.
Did you come up through Ash?
I am not a member of Ash. It's one of those things that I just didn't do the research. I didn't figure it out what was available, what sort of resources were around. Mm-hmm. I was a relatively solemn, soulless brewer, just brewing for the fun of it, not necessarily for any sort of gain or any sort of marketability. Mm-hmm. That being said, I really enjoy craft beer, and I love what Arizona's done for craft beer and how much growth there has been in the industry. I look forward to seeing what we're going to be like when we can take over California and Colorado and Oregon and all the big craft brew scenes and then unite and take down the big dogs.
So how do you go from being a home brewer to being a head brewer?
Yeah, how did it happen for you?
For me, it's a very special circumstance. I've been with Uncle Bear's since I was 18. I started as a host with the company at the Mesa location. I worked my way up through the ranks, paid for school, and home brewing was a hobby of mine. I never thought that this would turn into a career. It was just something that I loved to do and I had a lot of passion for. And so one day I just brought a bottle into the manager on duty and said, hey man, this is what I've been working on. And it just so happens that the owners were interested in opening up a brewery. I told the boss one day, I said, hey Todd, I'm looking to be a brewer one day. And he said, well, we're going to open up a brewery. How would you like to train? And I started as the assistant brewer with Uncle Bear's. A year later, now I'm making it go.
Todd?
Actually, Joe has been an awesome part of the team. What we did to kick this off was we brought in Scott Bickert. Scott Bickert has been a friend of ours. He actually used to work for Rio Salado and was a head brewer for Rio Salado back in the day. He also worked for Tommy Knocker, Four Peaks Brewery. He was a partner and head brewer at Ska, and also not a partner at Ska, but he was a head brewer there and also a partner and head brewer at Durango Brewing Company. So we brought him on. I gave him a little sweat equity.
Yeah.
Him and I went out to Portland. We picked out our system together, ensured that the system would fall into space at the Ahwatukee location. And then we basically purchased that equipment, had him write our initial flagship recipes, and then put him on the sidelines to always be our fallback guy to continue to develop and train our brewery team, which Joe has been brewing since day one with Joe, with Scott. And when Scott went back to Durango, which he's about to open his own brewery again, we brought on Patrick now from Santan. So it's been a great mix. It's provided an opportunity for a long-term employee that had worked himself up within the company. We always believe in promotion upon merit, and what a great guy. He has passion for beer. He was already home brewing, and then you surround him with some other great people like Scott Bickert, which has helped elevate his game, which now he is our guy brewing on site, and then Scott's the guy on the sidelines that is our go-to person for any questions, concerns, hop contracts, can work alongside of me with a lot of that kind of stuff, and then understand the beer that we want to produce, and then work with Joe to ensure that we produce it and produce it correctly with all the high quality and within mind.
And you're a young guy. You're what, 26?
26 years old.
Damn, I'm good. But so really, if you think about it, you've given him an opportunity, to grow with the company and to do something that he likes. Sometimes I sit at my desk at work and I want to put a bullet in my brain. Nothing personal. I love you all. But fact is, he can go to work every day and really enjoy it. And you're mentoring him, for his own success in life. So kudos to you, man. That's huge.
What else is quite interesting is how we as a company are evolving. I brought Jason Derby on as a sales and marketing guy, spearheading caterings as well as handling a lot of advertising and special marketing, goals. But within the mind that we were going to open a brewery eventually, because we've been selling craft beer since our second year of being open. Four Peaks was the first one through Teddy Golden. Great guys. We love them to death. They love us. And then we came to the point where, we need to produce beer ourselves. We love drinking it. We love selling it. We can be a partner in the industry, and that's how others are viewing us. We're a partner in the industry. But what's great is I brought Jason Derby on because he used to sell to the big box stores in Iowa for the Miller Coors Light brand, fighting for all the shelf space. And I knew he was aggressive. I knew he was a great salesman. And with a vision that one day I was going to do a brewery, I brought him on, knowing that we were going to make that happen. That has proven to be a great move as well.
Yeah. Well, when we get back, we want to go ahead and try some of these beers.
Yep.
And then, we've been trying them.
We've been trying them, yes.
And then also kind of talk about some future endeavors, what you got going on. So we will be right back. Hey, this is Dunk from the Dunk Tank. Did you know Tops Liquor has over 2,000 wines stocked all over the world? In 2,000 there's huge selections from tequila, scotch, vodka, you name it, they got it. And did I mention beer? Over 2,000 varieties of craft beer, Arizona, and all over the world. So come next door to the Taste of Tops, where you can always find at least 25 very special beers on tap and hundreds of beers by the bottle. Come on down to Tops, and you'll never want to leave. That is, until your wife tells you to come home. And welcome back. This is Duncan Lee. Soon, if I drink enough, will be drunkenly, and then I'll have to be out in the parking lot for 4 hours. So I don't want to get at Sheriff Joe's posse. But And I got George here again. George, put your ears on. Sue Evans, who drinks it too much, but he's good. So, George, let's drink some beer. Let's talk about some beer. Let's talk about it.
Beer. All right, so we have the full. Is this the full lineup here, guys?
This right here is just a sample of the selection that we provide. This
wow.
is 6
you
of the
got
8 beers. We have 8 beers at all times, and then at some points we're up to 9, 10, 11 beers on tap at our brew house.
Okay, so I did a little informal peanut gallery poll while working, and first of all, none of these are stinkers. We don't have any butter bombs here. You know, nothing like that.
It's all about great beer.
Yeah. So the three that the people that I was talking to like the most are the Dog Park Dark, which I like a lot, the Belgian Blonde, and the Hop Dog Double IPA. Those are the 3 that stood out this group here, amongst our peanut gallery right here.
Yes, the lovely peanut gallery.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
It's our fan. It's our huge fan base.
And I think the Belgian is really good. I mean, it's really.
The Belgian Blonde was a beer that we came out with this past May.
Try that one.
Let's try that.
We were the Bell for us. We sold out of it in about 2.5 to 3 weeks. We were not going to bring it back until next May, but we had so much request for it that we brought it back along with our Mandarin wheat for the summer. The Belgian Blonde will be finishing up here probably the next couple of weeks. So if you see the Belgian Blonde out there, get it while you can.
Yeah. And it's a little low on the ABV for, I think. Little bit low for what your traditional Belgian Blonde would be.
We were looking for a beer that would not only capture the craft beer connoisseur, but also bridge the gap between those domestics and provide an entry-level craft beer that people would enjoy.
I think you did a good job of that.
And also have the complexity for those who enjoy good beers. You could call it a bowl Belgian
6.9 session.
Yeah.
6.8 session. It's a little bit. I think it's well. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think it's a little bit low for considered
to the
considered
8%.
a Belgian Blonde.
Yeah, we're about 1% off
On the low side.
But we didn't want to blow anybody's brains out when we were looking at making this beer available for everybody to drink. We like balanced beer. We like great quality craft beer, and we want everybody to enjoy the beer, not just a select few.
I get that, and I enjoy that. Yes.
Well, thank you.
And Ashley over here really likes the Hop Dog Double IPA.
Well, that one was a fun one to brew. That one I don't want to take full credit for it, but I might have to.
Anyway.
That was a fun beer. Like we were looking for something that was complex and balanced and hoppy, but at the same time just kind of brought it to that next level. So with the balanced malt backbone, we were able to kind of go balls to the with our hop and provide that bitterness, but not be over the top bitter and hoppy combined. We wanted it to be smooth. We wanted it to be fruity. We wanted that citrus note to be very pungent and noticeable to those who are drinking the beer.
Nice. I think one thing that you guys will notice too as you've been sampling the beers, all the beers are nice and smooth.
Right.
A little bit of some ABVs, they drink like a lower ABV, and a lot of that has to do with the water source that we use for all of our beers. As you guys know, 90% of beer is water. Good works that we've searched out really comes through in the smoothness of our beers.
And what steps do you take with your water? What sets you apart?
Our osmosis water system, where we strip out all the impurities and all the chemicals that are in the Arizona water. The Arizona water is very hard water and very hard to brew with. That being said, we soften, and once we get it down to its most basic level, we then add the salts back that we deem necessary, the minerals that will provide a quality beer palate, a base to build.
And that's per beer?
That's per beer.
So if you're doing a British style, you're going to go more the Burton-on-Trent, and if you're doing a Pilsner or something from the
Correct.
Con-
For
from
instance,
the-
our golden, those are going to be lighter on the salt build to balance out the water. We want those to be more perceived as a smooth, easy drinking beer, whereas our maltier, hotter, or bolder beers have a little bit more salt to balance them out, and then therefore create those beers to be equally smooth and easily to drink, easable drink.
I'll add a little note here. At 11th hour, we tested the Phoenix water, and I won't describe how the Phoenix water rated, but I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to Lubbock, Texas, or seen any of the dental plans in Lubbock, Texas, but it's bad water. And so what we decided to do is we ponied up $18,000 at the 11th hour and said we must do this. If we do this right. We've got great brewer. We've got great SOP. We've got great recipes. We've got a wonderful facility and a great set of equipment. We got to bring it home. And so it's $18,000 on an RO system. And then I won't tell you what the brewery is, but one of my favorite breweries out of California, we were able to pick their water source, do a scientific study of the breakdown of their water, and then match it to a T. And so we're brewing water from one of my favorite places out of California.
Wow.
Because of how you add salts back in.
Northern or Southern California?
Southern California.
Would it rhyme with scone, maybe?
No. And we'll stop there.
Okay.
Well,
and stop Ballast Point. But anyway,
equally comparable.
that's a little north. But anyway, so we have our own water source. As someone just brought up, if we want to brew something a little different style, and we can actually match a different water for just one beer if we want to.
Right.
So it's been a great move, and it's something, as I look back on the overall project, there was a lot of surprises. We've never done this before. That was an awesome move on our part. It was a great investment. Look, if I had to do it again, I'd do it time and time again.
And that's huge. I think that's money well spent, in the long haul. Because
Let me try that Mandarin wheat again.
Okay.
I got to tell you, George,
Yes, sir.
this is a good frickin' beer.
You like that?
I mean, you can smell it right away. So it's almost like, am I going to drink a beer or am I going to drink like a juice? You know what
I do.
Very heavy on the nose.
This beer has been very, very popular for us. It hit home in the marketplace right away.
Damn good. Damn
It
good.
reminds me of Tang when you were a kid without the sugar. It's kind of the flavor that it brings to me.
That's a dangerous beer.
It's a 5.1 ABV, a 12 on the IBU, made real oranges. So when you serve this,
Is it made with orange peel?
The oranges and the rinds are in it as well.
Okay.
When you're poured for you, there's not going to be a lot of head retention on this beer because all the oils out of the rind are in this beer, so the oils eat at that head retention.
Okay.
But very, very fresh, orange-tasting beer. If you love this, you'll love this beer.
Yeah, it's
The thing
10.
that I
That's a 10.
the thing that I get from this is that we're looking at this is a big flight right here, okay? And there are no stinkers. And by stinkers, I mean I travel around and I try different beers and everything, and a lot of times you'll go to a brewery and they'll have one butter bomb. There's no butter bombs in here. There's nothing here that is got a stringent, no serious off flavors here. None of these beers here are flawed out of their style range that they're supposed to be in.
And I would agree with you there.
So that's an accomplishment.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Thank
We appreciate that. And as me, the person out there selling the beer, I hear that a lot. A lot of people, when we sit down to do a tasting for the first time, we're done, they're like, wow, I did not expect that. Everybody thinks of Uncle Bear's as a grill and tap or a grill and bar. Yes, that's what we started at. But now, with the brewery evolving, Todd did a good job on bringing people in with a lot of experience. And that's one thing I always want to hit home to people. Yes, we're a newer brewery, but as you taste the beer, we have a lot of experience, a lot of people that know what they're doing. And for my job, good beer sells itself. And I think as you guys are tasting here tonight, the great beer is doing a good job in the marketplace.
So pretty soon we're going to have to go, George, but I wanted to just find out where are the different locations. If you could just kind of go over where those are at.
How would somebody, if somebody wanted to watch this podcast and wanted to, figure out how they could drink some of your beer and eat your food and hang out at your establishment, what would they do?
Well, the first thing they can always do is go to UncleBearsAZ.com. We have a list of all of our locations on there. Our Uncle Bear's locations, the brewery is at 50th and Ray in Ahwatukee. We have Chandler, Mesa, and Queen Creek. We also have a list of all the restaurants and bars that carry our beer on our website as well.
Okay, right on. And then finally, I heard Todd was the karaoke king of Oceanside. So I heard that you were a heck of a karaoker, that you were the singing dynamite of Uncle Bear's. Is that true?
Well, I am quite the singer.
I say,
and I've been told I got the radio voice as well.
Well, I say as we lead off, you and I, in a singing karaoke battle.
Maybe we ought to do that.
1 minute each. You go.
Right now?
Right now.
Spot.
On the spot.
Right this second?
Right this second.
Should I do Devo or... Who does Devo anyway?
All right. Name your song.
Well, there's so many to choose from. I guess I'll do Under the Bridge.
There you go.
By Joe. What's the name of that band?
That would be
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Are you really going to sing too, or are you just going to make me look like a fool?
No. This is a total.
I'm looking like a fool.
This is this is a total battle.
Well, okay, here we go. I do have onlookers. Will you come sing as well? Do you know the song?
Come on, ladies.
Can you fake it? Can you roll with me?
Women make
it.
Okay,
in my mind. Okay.
Oh, they can.
You're supporting me. All right. Sometimes I feel like it's my only partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend. It's a city I live in, city of strangers. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay,
I don't want to feel.
Oh, there we go.
Like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Oh, hey, yeah.
Well, now that
love me, I say, yeah.
You got your work.
Okay, we're done.
Now that was good. That was good.
I'm good.
But nobody beats
Got beer, baby.
Frank Sinatra. Nobody beats Frank Sinatra. So, a little Frank, ladies. This way you can have something to think about later on. You can think about me singing Frank Sinatra. Here we go. Stud. Oh, no, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Start singing the blues. I'm leaving today. Right for the very heart of it. In old New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep. And find that king of the hill. Top of the heap. A number one. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to DrinkinAZ. And have a great night. We're out.